One of the things that Scarpa, like I say, is most known for is our climbing shoes, and then married to that climbing shoe program is our approach shoe program. Now, the first thing that we want to talk about when we talk about approach shoes is what makes an approach shoe. What even is an approach shoe, right? Because on the surface, it kind of just looks like a tennis shoe. And while maybe in our region, an approach shoe isn't maybe quite as necessary as if you live in a mountain region, they're super handy. They're a really good trail shoe. They're a general shoe. They're a good way to tie into your climbing routes and, and align with those brands that you really like. But they also serve a nice purpose when approaching to the crag. Even in our zone, there's some scrambles, there's some rocky approaches, some slabs to walk across, and these things will really help you out in that process. So what makes an approach shoe? Well, the first thing you're going to see is that the laces on any approach shoe is going to run very close to the end of the toe. And that is so you can dial the front end of this shoe in, get it super tight down there on the forefoot should you want to rock climb in it. You know, a lot of guides climb up to 5'10" in their approach shoes every single day. You know, in the Red River Gorge, as juggy as it is, you can wear approach shoes on the majority of the 5'10" rock climbs there because it's not really footwork dependent. It's big old holes, you can step on them. So, lacing down to the toe, get a nice tight fit over the forefoot so it feels comfortable while rock climbing in it. You're also going to see rubber randing on an approach shoe that'll come up over the toe. That's about durability as you're walking through scree, or you might be rock climbing in it. You won't be tearing the front end of the shoe up. And then I would say as important as the lacing system in an approach shoe is going to be the climb zone on the bottom of any approach shoe. Any approach shoe that we build is going to have a section of the shoe that's not going to have any lugs so that you can actually use that similar to a climbing shoe to get good friction whenever you're smearing or edging. And that's really what you're looking for in an approach shoe. Scarpa makes the Crux. It's our best-selling approach shoe, one of the best-selling approach shoes on the market. It's got a dual density EVA midsole, Vibram outsole with good traction, a nice leather upper, padded around the ankle and in the tongue with a little bit of ventilation. Good, solid, standard approach shoe. Now, when we want to talk about standard approach shoes, let's talk about super badass approach shoes. So we have the Mescalito for that. The Mescalito is also going to feature a dual density EVA, but it's a little bit higher quality. Literally two different types of EVA here in the midsole. The shoe is wrapped with a TPU surround that gives the upper a whole lot more support. That lateral stiffness is really important on long approaches. And then the burly leather upper. Like I said, you can see that the stitching comes all the way down to the toe. And then real quick, one of my favorite things about the Mescalito, once you get it unlaced, and we may have to get it in another shot here, but you'll see that there is a sock fit style tongue on this shoe, which means that tie you some stopper knots on the end of the laces, keep these things super loose. You can slip your feet in and out of them for running around town whenever you're not actually doing anything technical, and it's a great fit. This is the ground up preferred approach shoe. This thing is amazing, very durable, very stiff. Now, one thing about this shoe that may not make it very great for an approach shoe around here in the summertime is that it's going to be kind of heavy, it's kind of warm shoe. That's where the Mescalito knit is going to come into play. So this is going to be new for spring 20. And essentially, it is a knit upper version of the Mescalito. Similar midsole, same Vibram light base outsole, but instead of this heavy duty leather upper, we've actually gone with a knitted upper, which is going to be super good for breathability and moisture movement. So Mescalito knit, new for 2020. Also new in the approach category in 2020 is the Calipe. The Calipe is going to be kind of more of a crossover, like where this is like classic approach, this is badass approach. This is going to be a little bit more on the soft side of approach. So this is going to be a bit more of a tinny. So a little bit less construction going into the upper. We're going to make it just a little bit looser in the upper, a little softer, a little more torsional movement there. So this thing's going to wear a little more like a street shoe, like a skate shoe. It's going to work well in most approach situations. If you're planning on doing a lot of big burly mountain trips, definitely looking into the Mescalito or the Crux. But if you're looking for an everyday kick around shoe that you will wear to the crag some, wearing it to the gym, I think the Calipe is going to hit it. This really cool rubber surround on the back gives the shoe a little bit more durability and high wear points. And also, if you have a funky instep, sometimes you can break down the heel. This will help support that. And then the full rubber randing on the toe, and will also keep that a little bit more durable on the front end and keep you from beating it up on the rocks. Really deep lugs, Vibram outsole as always, with a single density EVA. It's going to be a nice all-around approach shoe coming out in men's and women's.